Pierce Brosnan, the actor who restored James Bond to global dominance, is often seen as a figure of flawless composure, charisma, and precision. To the world, he is Bond, the confident, unshakable hero in the tuxedo. But behind the public persona lies a life shaped by loss, grief, and resilience. Long before the fame, long before the cameras, Pierce faced the absence of his father, early separations, and the slow accumulation of sorrow that would test him in ways no stunt or role ever could. His life demonstrates that true strength is not in outward appearances, but in quietly carrying burdens that never fully leave. At 72, after surviving profound personal loss, Pierce Brosnan stands not simply as an actor, but as a man shaped by the realities of life, learning to move forward while holding space for grief and memory alongside his achievements. Childhood in silence. Pierce's early years in Drogheda, Ireland, were marked by absence. Born on May 16, 1953, he never knew his father, Thomas Brosnan, who left before he could form memories. The silence left by that departure became a defining presence in his life. At 4, his mother moved to London seeking work, promising to return, but 7 years passed before she did. In that time, Pierce moved between homes, never feeling rooted, learning that waiting for someone might be pointless. This early instability taught him to rely on himself and accept that life doesn't always deliver closure. Teachers saw his intelligence, but also his quiet distance, a reflection of the emotional walls he had built. One night, standing in an empty hallway, Pierce realized that no one would return. Not that night, not ever. It was a quiet lesson in resilience, acceptance, and the capacity to carry absence without breaking. Learning trust, slowly. When Pierce's mother returned in 1964 with William Carmichael, life stabilized slightly, but never became simple. William brought patience and kindness into Pierce's world, showing him what care could feel like without expectation. He learned small lessons of trust, repair, and steadiness, even as old wounds lingered. That same year, William took him to see Goldfinger, where Pierce witnessed James Bond's certainty, control, and the power of presence. It left an impression. Here was a man who never waited to be chosen, who didn't experience absence the way he had. This idea of composed certainty became something Pierce quietly aspired to, guiding both his ambitions and his personal life. Even amid loss and uncertainty, he began to see the potential of inhabiting a space fully, trusting that steadiness could exist, even when the world felt unpredictable. It planted seeds for the discipline and resilience that would define him. The turning point, discovery of acting. Initially focused on art, Pierce's life took an unexpected turn in 1971 when, as a student at St. Martin's School of Art, he wandered into a theater workshop. Watching a fire eater perform, he stepped forward impulsively, trying his hand at performance. This wasn't born of ambition, but instinct, the intuition of someone used to stepping into the unknown. He displayed presence rather than polish, something raw and undeniable that the instructors noticed immediately. From that moment, acting became more than a craft. It became a vessel for expressing the patience, focus, and quiet resilience that had shaped his life. Later, at Drama Centre London, he endured intense training that stripped many of his peers away. Pierce persisted, not because of ego, but because survival, discipline, and resilience had long been ingrained. The path to the screen was not glamorous. It was forged through work, patience, and the recognition that success would come, but only to those who could endure uncertainty. Quiet, rise to recognition. Pierce's early screen roles were small but formative. From Wait Until Dark to minor film appearances, he learned to hold presence and attention even in fleeting moments. In 1982, an audition for Remington Steele unexpectedly landed him the lead, a breakthrough that introduced him to millions worldwide. The show's success spread his name globally and opened the door to the possibility of James Bond. But the Bond role didn't come immediately. At first, he was overlooked, with Roger Moore and later Timothy Dalton taking the role. This early professional disappointment could have disheartened him, but Pierce's life had already taught him to wait without expecting, to understand that some opportunities arrive only after years of quiet persistence. These years of steady work and preparation strengthened his resilience, allowing him to face rejection without losing the capacity to move forward, a pattern that would recur throughout his personal and professional life. GoldenEye and the Bond legacy. In 1994, the call finally came. Pierce Brosnan would play James Bond in GoldenEye. By then, he approached the role not as a breakthrough, but as something long awaited, yet familiar. The opportunity wasn't just about fame or money. It was about fulfilling a journey that had begun decades earlier. He embraced the role with discipline, dedication, and an understanding that success can be fleeting. Stunts, high-pressure scenes, and rigorous schedules tested his body and mind, but he executed everything with calm mastery. The film earned $353 million, reviving Bond for a global audience. Subsequent Bond films consolidated his presence, turning him into a symbol of composure, elegance, and precision. Behind the spectacle, however, Pierce remained shaped by patience, loss, and the ability to endure uncertainty. Even at the height of his career, he maintained the quiet introspection that had been forged in childhood, demonstrating that the greatest strength is often invisible to the public eye. Love, family, and tragedy. Pierce's personal life was defined by profound love and heartbreak. Meeting Cassandra Harris in the late 1970s brought stability and belonging. Marrying her in 1980, he became a father to her children and later had his own. Yet life's fragility became painfully apparent. Cassandra's battle with ovarian cancer was relentless, and Pierce stood steady, supporting her through every test, surgery, and treatment. The family's daily rhythm shifted into hospital corridors and quiet moments of caregiving. When Cassandra passed in 1991, he endured the loss not with dramatic collapse, but with quiet strength, maintaining presence for their children. Years later, this pattern repeated with his daughter Charlotte, who faced the same illness. Pierce's life illustrates that love is intertwined with vulnerability, and strength is measured not by avoiding grief, but by remaining present and caring, even when grief feels overwhelming. The human side of Bond Pierce Brosnan's legacy as James Bond is inseparable from his human experience. The composure, precision, and confidence that captivated audiences were mirrored by a life spent navigating uncertainty, absence, and grief. The world saw elegance and mastery. Few witnessed the resilience that allowed him to carry deep sorrow without collapse. Every decision on set, every moment and character was informed by decades of learning to endure absence, disappointment, and heartbreak. His professional discipline reflects a personal philosophy. Life often delivers challenges without warning, but strength is measured by persistence, calm, and presence. Beyond the tuxedo, the gadgets, and the stunts lies a man who understands fragility, loss, and the quiet courage required to face them. In this way, Pierce's Bond is not only a hero on screen, but a reflection of enduring humanity. Legacy beyond the spotlight. Even as the cameras turned away, Pierce Brosnan's life illustrates the intersection of resilience, love, and personal fortitude. His professional triumphs, though significant, are secondary to the quiet victories of maintaining presence amid grief. He embodies a rare understanding. Loss does not end. It accompanies you, reshaping the way you see the world. He navigated abandonment, illness, and death with a steadfast commitment to family, work, and integrity. Through it all, he demonstrated that human strength is not always visible. It exists in the small, silent moments, in choices to stay, support, and endure. Pierce's story reminds us that the roles we play on stage or screen are often eclipsed by the life we quietly construct, shaped as much by adversity as by triumph, leaving a legacy of resilience that transcends fame and reaches the heart.